What's going on, everybody? I'm Mick with the Fantasy Football Addicts. I'm doing my first player profile. Dawson and Wyatt have already posted theirs. I'm doing my first one on Deshaun Watson, the quarterback of the Texans. He's kind of an interesting player to talk about this year, that being the fact that DeAndre Hopkins is no longer there. Deshaun Watson is, you can't argue, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's one of the most talented. He was taken in the same draft as Patrick Mahomes, just behind Patrick Mahomes, and ripped the Bears because they took Trubisky. Gross. Deshaun Watson has had two top five finishes in fantasy football as a quarterback, and he's only played in the league in 3 years. And that first year, he tore his ACL like week 6, 7, I think. He was an absolute monster that year. He probably had a chance to run for MVP at 19 touchdowns through 7 games in the first part of his career. The loss of DeAndre Hopkins is going to be huge for him. That's 150 targets that they're going to lose, that he's going to have to find somewhere else. I don't think they're going to throw the ball as much this year. They're going to have to rely on that run game to be successful, especially with those receivers. Randall Cobb, Will Fuller, Brandon Cooks, all great receivers, but they're kind of undersized. Cobb is going to have to be playing on the slide. He was pretty productive last year with Dallas. He was great with Aaron Rodgers, but Fuller, injury prone. He has not had a healthy season yet. It's kind of sad to see so much talent. Brandon Cooks is probably one concussion away from never playing football again. So that kind of scares me. They're all undersized. The only one who's actually kind of big is Kenny Stills, but currently he's not listed as a starter. Um, Tight ends are they're gonna have to do something good this year for Deshaun Watson to have a good year. The strength of schedule is another thing that really worries me about Deshaun Watson because he plays the Ravens. Great defense. The Steelers, they put on a steel curtain last year. The Vikings, they're pretty tough defense. The Patriots always have a good defense. I don't care what anybody says, they're always going to be good. The Bears, they have a pretty good defense as well, and they play the Titans twice. And that sounds pretty tough. That's 7 of the 16 games right there playing really good defenses. Um, in order for Deshaun Watson to be able to put up a good fantasy season, he's going to have to run the ball. I know he can do it because last year he had 400 yards rushing last year, and the year before he had 500 yards rushing. Plus, look at the rushing touchdowns. He had 7 and 5. That's pretty hard to do in the NFL. Deshaun Watson's going to have to be able to do that. The thing that worries me about him, it's not that he's not going to be productive. I think he will be productive, but not enough to equal his ADP. There's going to be quarterbacks that have a way better year than Deshaun Watson for fantasy football that are going to be taking after the 503 in a 12-man format. That's what's really tough for me. I think he's going to be – I wouldn't take him earlier than the 7th, 8th round, honestly. And honestly, if you're going to take somebody in the 7th, 8th round, you might as well just wait and take that extra receiver, take that extra running back, take that tight end. It's just not worth taking Deshaun Watson that early. I feel bad for him because it's not his fault. It's Bill O'Brien. But if you're going dynasty draft, I'm perfectly okay taking him in the 5th, 6th, even the 4th. I think 4th might be a stretch, but I'd be comfortable taking it depending on who's already off the board. The reason why I'm okay with him being taken in dynasty leagues is because you're going to have him for his entire career. Bill O'Brien, if they don't win this year, that's it. And this is probably his last year. And whenever you get a new head coach in there, I think it's going to make Deshaun Watson a whole lot better. They're probably going to draft somebody good. They probably won't trade away their best receiver in franchise history away for a sack of freaking potatoes. Like, that was just absolutely stupid. If you're taking Deshaun Watson in Dynasty, you better hope that Bill O'Brien is gone. The one thing that the Texans have been good at that I think gets overlooked is they have always had a pretty good rushing attack, and I think that's going to hurt Deshaun Watson, especially this year. So that's going to do it for me. I really don't think Deshaun Watson's the way to go. If you see him on the board kind of late, I'd do it. But other than that, just fade them, fade them. Just hold off, take somebody else. Wait until the 10th, 11th, 12th round for a quarterback. It's not worth taking them so early. If you enjoy the content, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and have a good one. Deuces.